Hey guys, Lumber here, and today I'm going to be doing a video that's a little bit different than some other stuff that I've done in the past. Today I'm going to be doing a top 10 video of the top 10 things that scared me personally as a child. You might share some of the things on this list, and there are a few things on this list that I feel have been on other people's lists. Not because I'm copying them, but because we've all shared the same sort of horrifying childhood realities. Um, there's also a few things on this list where there's multiple things for one number, like one individual entry, and I just thought that that'd be easier because who wants an odd number for a top video? So yeah, some of them will have two in the same category, um, mostly from the same thing. But yeah, um, let's get started. Number one, the XFiles theme. So, the XFiles, I never actually watched as a kid, and I never saw anything from it, but the theme itself is what scared me. Um, so, this was a long time ago, obviously. This was before the Illuminati memes had even started. People weren't using the XFiles theme as an Illuminati meme, it was just there. And every time I'd hear it on the TV at night, or someone would play it on like their iPod or whatever it was, um, I I was just overwhelmed with this horrible sense of just pure dread and just like I hated it so much and it scared me because it goes into that weird uh, valley of noise where it's just like you're like somehow intimidated or scared by it. Like you're just like you get an uneasiness from listening to it, and I just really obviously was not a fan. Number two, Goosebumps. Now this counts both the books and the show. Um, so book wise, I never read the books at all because I was too scared to. Um, Mainly just from the art on the front of the books, it scared me. I remember I used to have two. I had one of the actual books. It was Say Cheese and Die. Um, and I never read it. I never wanted to touch it. I got it as a present for Christmas, I think, one year, and I just never touched it because there was spooky skeletons on the front and they were taking pictures. And I don't know, I just thought the combination of the words say cheese and die and the skeletons scared me so damn much that I just didn't want to even touch it. Um, the other one I had was Night of the Living Dummy 2, but it was like this big, I believe, like that big. It was a Happy Meal promotional thing. I don't know if it was Burger King or Wendy's or who it was. Maybe Arby's. I don't know, but they were like the mini books, um, and I thought Slappy was horrifying. Same thing for the show. The main reason I didn't want to watch it was mainly Slappy, because I thought he was fucking the scariest shit I had ever seen in my life. And that's why I just never wanted to do anything Goosebumps related. Okay, now the obligatory things for number 8 that pretty much everyone from early 2010s was doing. Creepypastas. Um, I was scared of multiple creepypastas, but they went away pretty early into it, and the only ones that really stuck with me for like years were Jeff the Killer and Sonic.exe. Um, Sonic.exe, not because it was scary itself because the game slash story wasn't really that scary. Mainly for the imagery that's used in the actual game version that came out. Um, this is when creepypastas were at like peak popularity. Everyone was playing the Sonic.exe game on their YouTube channels and stuff, and like the imagery of like the I am God picture and the laugh. Um, I don't know. That scared me. Also, the backwards Sonic music is still pretty haunting to this day. It's just creepy. If you ever want to set the mood for like Halloween or something, and you like retro games or whatever, just go ahead and pop on some Sonic.exe tracks. That shit is scary. Um, the other one, Jeff the Killer. Jeff the Killer. I mean, look at this fucking guy. Like, what? Do you want that in your life? I don't. After reading and watching so many creepypasta videos about Jeff, I like it was literally a struggle every night for me to sleep, and I would literally pray that he wouldn't kill me in my sleep. I was that scared of him. Screw Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger's a little bitch. Fucking Jeff the Killer over here. Look at Jeff the Killer. Okay, little Freddy Krueger, Jeff the Killer. And got shit on Jeff the Killer, bro. Number 7, Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. Just by looking at him down there and just thinking what he's from, you know, Jeff Dunham wouldn't really think, oh, why would that be scary? It's not. It's not at all. But the way I was introduced to Ahmed the Dead Terrorist was pretty weird and kind of a specific scenario, I guess. Um, I had never heard of Jeff Dunham. Obviously, I was a kid. I wouldn't have been allowed to watch his type of humor. I find it funny as hell now, but I wouldn't have been able to watch it then. Um, but the way I was introduced to Ahmed was a little weird. So on the DS, there was this app. I guess you could call it app. I guess it's more of a feature. It was called Flipnote Studio. You guys probably already know what that is if you're from that era of epicness. Um, but in Flipnote Studio, it would allow you to like draw and make little animations. And then you could like download other animations from the internet that other people had made and have them on your DS and just watch them whenever you wanted. It was cool. Um, but one day, while me and my cousin were screwing around on Flipnote Studio and watching ones that we got off the internet, he downloaded one where it was like I think it was the Fire in My Laser remix. You know, the Fire My Laser, Fire My Laser, dot 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 dot. I think that's what it was. It's Flubber. It's stuck. Child screaming in the background. It's stuck in my head now. Um, but one of the frames was just out of nowhere. It's like flashing lights and like random crap happening on the screen, and then all of a sudden Ahmed pops up for like 2 frames, and it jump scared me, and I was fucking horrified. And he was like, what's wrong with you? It's just like it's just a puppet skeleton. Here, look at it. And I didn't want to look at it. Um, I was fucking terrified of it. Didn't know what it was from, but I didn't fucking care because he was scary. Number 6. This one you might find also a little bit odd. Um, the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, specifically the intro. I wasn't scared of the show itself, oddly enough. The show itself was fine to me. I liked it. I watched it. It was funny. Um, but specifically the intro scared me. And I'd always like either leave the room or put my head under the blanket to avoid having to watch the intro. Um, I don't know. Something about the maniacal laughter of Grimm and like the whoa, like the slightly satanic, like eerie music. Um, and you know the character introductions where they have like just them as like bones and meat and stuff, and then they become themselves. That was scary to me too. Um, I don't know why. I guess I just wasn't too like exposed to demonic stuff, I guess you could say. If you could consider the intro demonic, I think most people kind of would, but I don't know. It was mainly just shock, I guess. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the hell is this? Why is he laughing? He's turning people into skeletons. Oh God, they're dead." Okay, these next two are kind of like creepypastas, but they're also not. Um, it's Hypno's Lullaby and the Pokemon Ghost Girl, specifically the Ghost Girl from Pokemon Black, because that's a game that I played as a kid a lot. I fucking adored Pokemon Black, Samurott for life. I 100% uh completed that game with legendaries. I caught every legendary available in Pokemon Black. I fucking loved that game. But I was also fucking horrified of one moment that happened in it. So if you're not familiar with the Pokemon Black Ghost Girl, she looks like this. Doesn't she don't look scary, right? She looks pretty fucking normal. Um, Matt Pat from Game Theory, I think, did a episode on her on the Ghost Girls from Pokemon. But to me, she was just really scary. It's such a simple thing, really. So what happens, if you don't know, is while you're walking over one of the bridges in the game, there's like a fisherman sitting there and he's fishing, and there's this girl standing next to him. And if you walk too close to the girl, she literally just disappears. And then the fisherman beside her just goes, "Did she just disappear?" And that's it. But for some reason, that scared the fucking shit out of me. um, and it's a one-time occurrence, I believe, because every time I go back to that bridge, she wasn't there anymore. And I think that's what scared me the most, like, because I was like, I have confirmation from the guy who's standing next to her that she was there. I'm not crazy. But now she's not there and she's gone and she just disappeared. And no other NPC in the entire game does that. So it was scary as fuck to me personally. I was like, what the fuck? And every time I went over that bridge, I had that same eerie feeling because I was like, is she going to be there this time? Is she going to disappear again? Or is she not there anymore? And she was never there again, but the anticipation for that remained. Um, the other one, Hypno's Lullaby. Hypno's Lullaby does have a creepypasta attached to it, I believe, but the specific thing I'm talking about is the song itself. Um, Look at that fucking thumbnail for that video. Like, it's gross. I don't like it. Um, that scared the shit out of me as well. Um, like just it had, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like Lavender Town's theme in the background. Um, but it was just like some creepy ass dude making like a rhyme to sound like hypno or whatever. And there's like a swinging pendulum, and it's creepy. And he's like, "Come, little children, come with me. Oh, so happy you will be." And it was just creepy to me. Um, and I had like the worst fucking luck. Like it would always be there at nighttime specifically. Like I'd be scrolling through YouTube on my fucking iPod, and I'd be like, man, not iPod. It was like iPod Touch or something. It was the shitty silver one with the screen on it that you could actually do stuff on. That's how I was introduced to YouTube, believe it or not. But I was like scrolling through it. And I was like, what the fuck? And I see Hypno, and I'm like, whoa, Hypno! Come, little. Nope! um, and yeah, no, that was just fucking creepy. If you've been on the channel for a little while, you already know about number 4. Number 4 is Slender Man, specifically Slender the 8 Pages, the game. I've played it a couple times, and I've played other Slender games. But Slender the 8 Pages specifically still creeps me out a little bit. Mostly, I've already talked about it, so I'm not going to talk about this particular pick for that long. But something about the music and the atmosphere, like once you get 3 pages, it's like this overwhelming sense of you are fucked. This guy's gonna come eat your ass, and there's nothing you can do about it because that drum beat is so loud and it's just might as well be saying run, run, he's gonna touch you. Number 3, a lot of people have the same experience. This is another one with 2, both from the same show, Courage the Cowardly Dog. King Ramses and You're Not Perfect. Probably 2 of the most popular picks for any top video of anybody getting scared ever on the internet. But it's true. I mean, it's fucked up. Like, when so many people remember just those specific ones from your show, like, look at these 2 fuckers. Like, boom, King Ramses, fucking disgusting. I hate it. Look at him. He's gross. Boom, the You're Not Perfect guy. He's also gross. People have said he looks like a fetus. I don't even know what the fuck he is. He looks like a 3rd grader's failed 3D art project or something. But it's like, it's just the idea of it, like that. You think you're safe with 2D animation? Boom, 3D. Oh, it's fucking disgusting and it's creepy as hell because the 2000s had shit CG. We're winding down to the last ones now. Number 2, we have the Robot Chicken intro. Now, I've talked to a few of my friends about this specific one, and they seem to share the same experience as well. I haven't really heard anyone online talking about it, like specifically being scared of just the intro itself. But for some reason, like the Robot Chicken intro, like when it came on, of course, Adult Swim doesn't start until nighttime. But I could remember it so vividly, like the Cartoon Network logo, and it's just like good night, and then it closes out, and then like King of the Hill or some shit starts. Usually the situation was I just didn't want to go to bed, so I'd stay up, and I wouldn't really pay attention to King of the Hill at all, obviously, because why would I? I was a kid. I'd just have it playing as I laid there, and I was like, this noise. And then I'd pass out. But on more than a few occasions, I wouldn't pass out, and I'd be awake for hours. And then Robot Chicken would come on with that creepy ass fucking scientist stop motion where he's like, it's alive! That shit fucked me up. From that point on, every time I heard that fucking Cartoon Network logo go good night, I went to fucking bed. It was good night. I wasn't gonna sit there and watch this man fucking grab a chicken and fucking slam him on the table, fucking turn him into a fucking cyborg. Like, what even is that? Come to think of it, what the fuck does Robot Chicken, like, as a name, have anything to do with the rest of the show? Now, we're down to our number 1 pick. Number 1. This one I'm still kind of angry about, honestly, because it's still horrifying watching it to this day and seeing as kids fucking saw it. Like, who thought it was a good idea? Okay, so you might know a show named Pingu from a bunch of memes 4, 5, maybe 6 years back. You know, the Newt Newt penguin. That's Pingu. He looks like this. There's Pingu. He's cute. Pingu. He's cute. He goes Newt Newt. But yeah, there was Pingu, and that was a big thing of my childhood. I loved Pingu. Same with things like 321 Penguins, Roly Poly Oly, a bunch of shows that people don't really give a shit about now. But I remember watching that, and I had a little DVD release that had 6, 7 episodes on it, maybe. Um, and that specific episode came on. And if you watch Pingu, you probably already know what I'm talking about. You probably know what I'm talking about if you've even seen any other top 10 list about shit that scares kids. Yeah, I'm talking about the fucking Walrus. Who thought that? Look at him! Who thought that was a good idea? Who said, oh, you know what we need for a kid's show? Fucking that. We need to put that in our show. The kids will fucking love it. And, like, I did research on it a while ago, like, halfway through this year. And I looked it up, and I was like, why is it so horrifying? And why are the versions online that I'm finding aren't as scary as I remember them? That's because there's 2 versions of that exact thing. There was... This is what fucked me up even more, is that they knew how fucked up it was. So there's 2 versions of the of that one episode. There's the original one, which I had on the original DVD release, where he shows up and he fucking roars, and it's fucking horrifying, because it's like this really loud fucking... Just look it up. Look up original roaring version of like Pingu Walrus or whatever. It'll pop up. That shit's scary. It was so scary and scared so many fucking kids that they had to come back and redo the episode again, where the walrus just laughs more instead of roaring. Like, how many kids did you traumatize for your network to be like, guys, we might have fucked up. Let's redo that episode. Because, like, that shit was horrifying. Like, fuck. Damn, man. Before I end this video, I know people usually do honorable mentions before number 1, but since I only have one honorable mention, I'm just gonna say it now. My one honorable mention that didn't make it onto the list, it was from this show called Gumby. Now, a lot of you people probably don't even know what the fuck Gumby is. The real ones out there will know who Gumby is and will have loved him for what he is. She, it. I'm not sure what gender Gumby is. I think it's supposed to be a girl. We know Pokey's a guy. But there was one specific episode of that old show that I also had a bunch of those episodes on DVD as well. I had a lot of old cartoons on DVD. Like Rocky and Bullwinkle, the original Casper cartoon, shit like that. But there was one specific Gumby episode. By the way, you could find all the shorts that I'm talking about for Gumby on YouTube. There's like a couple hour long video where it's just all the Gumby shorts. All those shorts are the ones that I had as a kid. Like the one with the cowboy, and when they go back and meet George Washington and shit. The music notes. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen those Gumby shorts. The robot one. Boop, 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 boop. That was another one that scared me, because I thought robots were gonna break into my house and rip it apart for no reason. But the honorable mention I'm talking about is the dough episode specifically, where Gumby and Pokey go into this bakery because this like lump of dough wants their help for something. And he literally tries to bake them alive and turn them into fucking cookies or some shit. And just the idea of that alone as a kid. I mean, it's still fucked up now, but as a kid, I was like, holy shit. Because I understood what he was trying to do, because he was so obviously evil. I was like, Jesus Christ, like Pokey gets fucked up in that episode, like he hits his head, and he's like, oh. And like, he goes limp for a while, and like they have to rehydrate him, I think it is, to get him to come back to life. And it's like, what the fuck were you trying to show these kids? What is it with adults making kid shows that they're just like, let's fuck up the kids as much as possible? Anyway, guys, that's about it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you knew any of the picks on my list or have any picks that you'd like to share in the comments, go ahead. I'd love to read them. I'd love to maybe get to know some that I haven't seen. Like if there's some suggestions in the comments for fucked up things you saw as a kid that I haven't, I'd probably go look them up to see how it is. Because I still kind of have the mindset of a child anyway. But I'd probably understand. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below to show me that you did. And as always, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content from the channel. And I'll see you guys later. Bye! The fucking walrus, dude!